Hi, it's Wednesday, the 21st of August. That's a good start to a video, isn't it? Can't remember the date. Anyway, I can't remember the date because we've got such exciting stuff happening in the sky. I've just been like completely focused on that. Who cares what date it is? Wait till you get a load of this. This is really exciting stuff. I'm like, I can't wait to tell you. Okay, you could have found out yourself by going on to spaceweather.com, but you don't get the astrological interpretation then, do you? So let's do it together. Right, what shall we do first? With this so much. I know, let's do the moon occultation. So this is like big words, right? So if you think about it, right, you're on planet Earth and the moon is not far from us, okay? It's going around Earth. Now, the planets are much further out. Every now and again, something happens between the moon and the planets because what happens is the moon moving in the sky, and it can be all different elevations, it depends on the season. The moon is always opposite to the sun. So in the summer, the moon rises low, and in the winter, the moon rises high. In the summer, the sun rises high and the moon rises low. There's all sorts of differences. Okay, so you can see from what I'm saying, for the moon to pass in front of a planet, as far as we're concerned, we're looking out at the planet Saturn, and the moon last night or a few hours ago moved across the planet Saturn. It's called an occultation, or you could think of it as an eclipse, right? Which is not how the astronomers would see it, but they call it an occultation. But it's like an eclipse. So we can see Saturn, and then as it gets closer to the moon, it's more difficult to see because of the moon's light, and then the moon goes between us and Saturn, right? Yeah, that's really exciting. It doesn't happen so often, this stuff. Now, I happen to have an image of this. They've done a mock-up on Space Weather, and I've got it up, and I should be able to share with you. So I'm going to do that. What you're going to see is an image of the Earth. I'll tell you what, I'll share first, and then let's get the share going. We want that one, and we want to share. Okay. Right, so we've got the share going. Now, watch up here. Here's the moon, and you'll see a yellow Saturn just up there. Now, watch it. See it there? Right. And this is the moon passing in front of Saturn. Now, it'll come out the other side in a second. There you go. Isn't that super cool? This here is it's a different image. This is the moon's path, moonlight, if you like. As if you're standing in Spain, for instance, looking at Saturn, and then Saturn's light goes out because the moon's shadow is going over it. The moon itself is going over it. There you go. Ha! Super cool, right? Absolutely fantastic. And I'm just wondering if I can also get up. Yes, I can get up this image here. We've also got something absolutely amazing happening, and that is we have the color orange in auroras, right? But technically speaking, we cannot have the color orange in auroras because the chemistry isn't right. There is no molecule up there that does orange. So I'm just going to stop sharing now, just for a second. We'll stop share. And so they've got sort of an explanation on spaceweather.com. Oh, well, somebody thinks it might be the fact that the red is mixing with the green, and there's a lap over, but that doesn't give you orange. Every school child knows you need yellow and red, don't you, for orange? Anyway, have a read of it. It's a nice explanation, but I don't think the author of spaceweather.com is actually in total belief with that either. I think he's like, yeah, really? Okay, well, it's an explanation. But the other explanation is we've found a new molecule. I think there's another explanation, right? I did tell you that the sun was doing some remarkable stuff, and it's piling tons and tons of energy towards us and into the heliosphere. Now, there are things about the sun we don't know. And there is possibly things in the sun that we haven't experienced before. You know, we're not that advanced, really. So I think we've got new things coming out of the sun. Now, this is like new advice, new energy, new material, new information, right? Now, I happen to think that the sun, along with all the other suns in the galaxy, is how the divine or the great mind communicates with us. I believe that all these suns are points where information, energy, forces can all be poured out and filtered round the different solar systems. This is how we are kept up to date, if you like. I believe the sun, for instance, switches on and switches off viruses across the Earth's surface. And I think that those viruses being switched on and off are ways in which our systems are regulated, updated, and taken up into newer learning or greater awareness, or kept up with whatever the universe is doing, whatever the cosmos is doing. Now, I know that's a lot to get your head around, and I probably haven't used as many words as I could to talk about the huge immensity of that in terms of a communication system. And how far does it work? Does it just work in our solar system? Does it work in all the other solar systems? I mean, there's just a massive, there's more questions than answers when you start to consider this. However, because the sun at the center is the center of spirit, because spirit fire is where the gods reside. I know this for certain. I've known it for so many years. Deity resides in fire. The sun is a fire planet. Deity is talking to us via the sun. Whatever it spews out, and that filters down through the atmosphere to the earth, and we absorb it somehow, osmosis, electromagnetic transference, viruses. I'm absolutely convinced that the sun switches on and off viruses, which is why years ago when I was on Facebook and I was talking to some people on the West Coast of America, there were students actually, we all got the same virus with the same symptoms at more or less the same time. Well, you can't explain that by people getting on an aircraft and then passing it one to one, can you? It was just so strange. We were all like, how can this be? I've never forgotten that. And then I started to put it all together and I thought, it's the sun. This is the viruses come through space even. That viruses travel through space. As the world of viruses is incredibly intelligent and complex, and I think they carry communication. We do know that virus, say you get an ordinary cold virus, it alters your DNA. We know that. Science has proven this. Virus alters DNA. Okay, then. Well, if it's altering DNA, it's doing something, isn't it? It's upgrading us or making us more aware or switching on talents or attributes or things that we need in order to keep up with the different information that is coming to us. So it's like waking up parts of us. Oh, you'll need this part of you now. So yeah, okay, let's switch that on. Right, that's ready. You are now ready to receive or understand the new information, the new impact of deity, and this is how we get into growth. Whole system is growing, and this is how it grows. Okay, now, as you're probably going, Alice has gone completely nuts here. Okay, I've never had a chance to sort of express all this before, but when I see something like the color orange in auroras, and you look at the amount of mind-blowing amounts of energy which has come out of the sun recently, there's bound to be some stuff in it that we haven't experienced before. And so all this gets me, I reach in and I go, oh yeah, and then I've got to sort of share it with you. Not exactly astrology, more cosmic insights. This is the cosmic insights thing. Okay, right, that's that bit. Now, I'm going to do a share because I've got to tell you this as well. This is so exciting. I mean, if you've had enough, then, switch off and come back later. But if you can bear to listen to some more, I do have some more as well. So let's get sharing with this one. Okay. Now, we've already talked about this. So the moon has gone over Saturn. Right. Here's the important bit. It's done so while it's opposite Venus. I've already explained to you about Saturn, Venus. They are the most difficult and restrictive aspects in a birth chart for natal astrology. Now, we're not doing natal astrology. We're doing we're doing transiting astrology, but the impact on the collective is the same. It has a huge impact in terms of making things almost depressed, sort of somber. We can sense Earth and we can sense the Earth's restrictions. It's difficult for us to break free and feel as if we're free and we have free will, and we lose some joy. We're sucked into the Earth and the density of the molecules and gravity. Okay, now think about this. We have in this configuration all three of the Earth planets that we use in astrology, right? Well, sorry, the moon is water, but it's feminine. So let's say we're using two of the Earth planets that we use in astrology, sorry. And we're looking at the moon, which for me is almost earthy anyway, because it is so close and it's rock. And although it represents water, I always think of it as quite dense and earthy, if you like. Now, when you think about also the Earth planets, the planet that we use to rule Virgo, the Earth sign, Mercury, is not accurate. We haven't got that right yet. Mercury most definitely rules Gemini. Honestly, it's on loan to Virgo. Vesta is the one that we should be looking at to rule Virgo. Anyway, Vesta's not included in this. She's over there with the sun, which I think is quite funny. So anyway, so Vesta, I think, is trying to hold on to the sun at the moment and apply some brakes and some earth because it's obviously out of control. Well, probably well in control by the higher ones, but anyway. But let's just go back to this. We've got Virgo anyway, and we've got the Earth planet Venus, the Earth planet Saturn, and Moon going across. This is giving us a massive sense of molecules, of earthly things, of the corporeal. It's a very sensual, as in senses, sensual. There's great sensuality around at the moment. You may have been more aware of your skin and its sensors, its sensuality, and the feeling of the skin. There's two different feelings, right? There's the emotional feeling, Scorpio's feeling, but then there is also a different feeling, the feeling of Taurus, the earth. And that is much more sensually driven. It's tactile. So we have been introduced in the last 12 hours or so, 24 hours, with a great symbolism, which is demonstrating a very tactile, earthy, sensational feeling, probably getting our bodies woken up in some way. Now, that's probably all I can say on it. I'm just going to stop sharing. That's probably all the sense I can make of it at the moment. However, I'm so aware that we're getting into an earthly body sensual feeling, tactile feeling, at the same time as the auroras around the earth are announcing a new energy in orange, fire, color of fire. Just thought about that. And Vesta, and our third Earth planet, is conjunct the Sun, and so is adding her very special brand of earthy understanding, corporeal understanding to the Sun's outputs at the moment. And so I think we're getting into a crescendo or a huge raising of our alertness, our consciousness, our unconsciousness, and also what the body can feel and what the body is aware of within the heliosphere and the solar system and our earthly envelope too. Okay, so fantastic times. And although it can feel dull and depressing in some ways, and you might also feel disoriented, that like really kind of strange, like something just isn't right or doesn't feel like normal. Even though you may feel that, I think don't resist feeling it. Embrace it. Really feel it, because in that way you're opening up and accepting and moving into what it is that our DNA is being changed for. Because I think our DNA is being changed in just the way it does when we get a cold. We just have to look at the aurora, we just have to look at the occultation, we just have to look at the arrangements of planets and everything that's going on, and then put it all in the context of the rise of the feminine, which started back in 2020. Okay, I'm going to stop talking, and please let me know your thoughts on this, and I'd be really interested, and I've just enjoyed talking to you, and that's that. So just wanted to share it. Okay, so I'm just going to say goodbye now, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Give me some comments on YouTube, please. I'd love to read them. Okay, thanks. Bye.